Sorry I'm late, everyone. I had an ADHD moment and scrolled on my phone too long.
The numbers of ADHD have dramatically increased over the years.
I don't know what HDs are, but the doctor said I got 80 of them.
That is so me. I forget stuff all the time, and I think I totally have ADHD.
What do you mean my daughter has ADHD? I thought that was just young boys.
Yeah, now I gotta take these meds, and they make me crash out by the middle of the day. What even is ADHD?
Attention Deficit Hyperactive Disorder, which pretty much means I find it really hard to retain anything, and I find it really hard to stay still and focus.
That is just a snippet of another awesome visumentary produced here by the Lot 100 Studios and the incredible crew we're able to work with. Speaking of incredible, that's the DTT up there on stage, back here at the bar. Equally incredible, Costa, Mary Godwin, and of course, Sully. And we got Shane Schaffer with us today. Shane Schaffer, of course, the CEO of Cingulate, C-I-N-G. Buddy, I got to tell you,
everybody, how you doing?
What's up?
So the network, I will tell you, is looking forward to this. I will tell you, audience is looking forward to this. That's just a snippet of the first part of this. Devin Doan and his team and Jared have done a great job with you guys. And Shane has been deeply involved in this because he wants to get the word out. But at the same time, the network thought of this as a public service announcement in terms of that. Sure. It's got a great start to it. I think that. Having you and your staff and your team of experts as the spokespeople here, I think it's going to bring to light here a ton of exposure in terms of what the undiagnosed issue, and also as this drug goes to commercialization. I have to tell you, you're telling a great story. So fantastic so far. Well, I think we go on the air here probably later in the month, as long as I'm giving Shane control over telling us what we should put out of the air because he's good. But listen, man, congratulations, and I hope you're pleased with the way that things are started. But I have to tell you, when you get a subject like ADHD, and suddenly everyone thinks, no, I don't have it. You ever heard me and Shane on the phone together? I don't ever want to. Good to see you, man.
If you do, Costa, if you do.
Hey, get us up to date, man. What's happened lately? I know that you guys are we're with everything that you guys have announced recently in terms of moving the ball forward. You guys are at the 1 yard line here, and you're at the last piece of this. We go to commercialization.
We really are. And real quick on that, I've watched the preview of what's coming out with the visumentary, and I'm just so excited, about the opportunity to really shed some light on a lot of the misconceptions around ADHD, talk about all the unmet needs that are currently, obstacles for patients, for providers, for families that deal with ADHD. So your production staff's doing a great job. They're meeting with the right people from advocacy groups like CHAD, Children and Adolescents with ADHD, some of the top physicians. You got Tom Brown there. You're going to have Ann Childress, Dr. Brahms and Silva, folks from Cingulate. So it's really going to be fascinating to see this all come together, and it's really a great piece of work. Only one comment, more cowbell.
More cowbell. That's
always.
No, did Devin tell you the comment I had when we sent this to you before the show? My comment was, I need more Shane earlier. Seriously though. But the point is, you've provided us with the experts who've been on the air here before. Talk about when you guys decided to do this, Shane. I want to bring the audience back a minute. When you guys first sat down, and you decided, and I think you were working for, if I'm not mistaken, Pfizer Novartis at the time, or something like that, or you just left there, and you sat down with who is now your chief medical officer. Talk about how this whole thing started from the very beginning.
Yeah, it was myself, Dr. Matt Brahms, our chief medical officer, Dr. Raul Silva, our chief science officer. While I was at Novartis, which was actually about probably a decade earlier, we just became friends. I'm a pharmacist by training, but I was on the marketing side, but we still became friends somehow. And we're over to July 4th barbecue, so this timing.
Oh, that's right. It was over some beers and some steaks. That's fantastic.
Beers and brats, and I was just listening to them as a group of psychiatrists discussing, how we've come so far in ADHD, yet all these unmet medical needs remain, like onset of action, duration of action, the 2-3 prescriptions that doctors have to write, the booster doses, the abuse, the diversion. And I'm just thinking to myself, why don't we fix this problem instead of complain about it? And that's where Cingulate was born. And, it's been a long road, about 10 years, and we are so excited because we're ready to bring this new asset, this new product to the medical community and to patients, most importantly. And we're submitting our new drug application for approval really at the end of this month. So we're looking at a couple of weeks to get this, to get that clock rolling. And we expect to be on the market within a year and giving patients the opportunity to take this medication, which is really going to have the opportunity to improve their lives.
Shane Schaffer, Chairman, CEO, Cingulate, ticker symbol CING. Shane, you just said the operative word there, the patient. And I know as the CEO of a publicly held company, there are certain things you can't say, but can you sense that there's people just banging at the gates, waiting for those things to fling open? The parents who have the kids who are dealing with it hourly.
There's not a week that goes by and where I or someone that's part of this company and they come tell me, or our loved ones, they're like, hey, I was talking to someone about your company, Shane, and every single time they describe our product as a simple, you truly take it once a day.
Yep.
It starts working nearly immediately and it lasts your entire active day. No booster doses. We minimize some of the side effects. And they're like, where is this product? When is this coming out? And there's really nothing, that we're not overcoming from a medical need perspective. So we hear it all the time. We've gotten the feedback through our clinical trials as well that the patients that were on it really, really enjoyed this product in terms of just evening out their day. So we're hearing great things, Mr. Costa.
So, Shane, as I've told you before, I think we can all tell that I may or may not. I think as a kid, they go, he's so hyper.
You and I, brother. Yeah.
So the only time I was ever medicated was when my ex-wife handed me a book called Driven to Distraction. And it's about, and if you read the book, you could have changed my name in every example of what they're talking to. And it was a marriage and family counselor that actually pointed out the fact, bro. So I took Ritalin I'm going to say 20 years ago, okay?
Yeah.
And it was, and for everybody else, it's prescription grade speed. I mean, it would make everybody bounce off the walls. For me, it made me take a nap and then want a beer, which was, like it was almost like, this feels good. The problem was, I remember when I needed it most, because look at what I do here, I don't want to be medicated here. I'm working a soundboard. I'm working a mixing board. I've got paper in front of me. I got a microphone. I got TV cameras. I got co-hosts. I got guests. I mean, I call it the bug because I can work a little symphony here. The problem is when I needed it was 3 p.m, and if I took it again, I'm gonna be up till 1 a.m. This is basically what you have solved here. Let's talk about that for a minute.
So the stimulant class is by far the largest class that treats attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And they break down into 2 categories. I'll keep this short. Your methylphenidates like Ritalin and Concerta and Focalin, and then your amphetamines like Vyvanse and Adderall. They're 92% of the market, and they work by getting into the brain and basically allowing the ADHD patient to keep more of their dopamine or norepinephrine. So basically normalize their brain.
It slowed down the noise is how I describe it.
And if you have ADHD, it does the exact opposite of what you think a stimulant would do. Right. It slows down things. It allows your executive function to be normalized. So, that's a good thing. The problem with these medications is, they're very short half-lives. They come in quick and they leave quick. So it's all about a delivery technology that allows us the ability to deliver the right amount of the drug in the right ratio at the right time in the right style and give patients the opportunity to not have to take multiple drugs throughout the day. Let's not forget, this is attention deficit disorder. People forget to take their doses as they need to. So we've simplified it in a way that it's not just about compliance, it's about what is your life like? How do we make your life better if you have ADHD? And that's what we believe we've accomplished. And we look forward to the FDA reviewing our data. And we've had great conversations with the agency thus far.
I thought about you all weekend this weekend only because we have a bromance. But other than that,
your daughter's wedding.
Delaney's wedding was on Friday, and I'll tell you what. And my significant other was there, and a few people. If you wanted to see what happens with somebody that has a little ADHD, I snapped. I'm sorry. Then it was fine. I was organizing. I got it, and then it was like if you wanted to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, which
was there.
It was there, and I was thinking, I need Shane out here. Like, can you bring me a baggie for all that stuff? Let's go.
Prescription only.
Of course. What is so we got commercialization. We're thinking about a year from now. You got the application coming. What does the rest of your year look like? Because right now you're kind of on a little bit autopilot, but you got a lot of work to set up for, right?
Yeah, so I mean, if I talk to my clinical and regulatory team, and they're getting ready to go on autopilot, so they're taking their vacations after the NDA for the summer, because we have about a 45 to 60-day clock for the agency to come back and say, here's your PDUFA date, here's when we expect to, render your decision on approval. But really, there is a mountainous amount of work that needs to be done as we get ready to commercialize this product. So we're building up our market access team. We're building up the medical affairs group, publications, congresses, advocacy meetings, medical information, sales force, commercialization, marketing, agency of record. A lot of work is happening right now. My whole team is here this week here in Kansas City. A few of them are hiding out at the my conference room table right now. But a lot of work is going to be done so that we make sure, number one, that when we launch this product, every provider that treats ADHD is aware of this asset, that they know that this new product is here, they know the problems we solve, and we want to make sure that patients that suffer from ADHD know there's a solution out there if this is the appropriate product for them.
Dr. Shane Schaffer.
Love you, dude. I can't wait for what happens. Get here to San Diego. We'll see what happens next with the Vision Mentor. We're going to be on the air here in a couple of weeks here with him.
We'll be back soon. Great to see you guys.
Chairman, CEO, Cingulate, ticker symbol CING, literally gonna change so many lives.